So 5 days ago, Call of Duty Black Ops 6 came out. So far, it is turning out to be a great Call of Duty. I have been thoroughly enjoying it. I mean, besides the maps, the multiplayer maps, which a lot of people have pointed out, are not that great. Besides that, I mean, it is a great game. I still haven't even touched the campaign or zombies. I've just been having a blast with multiplayer. Right now, it seems like an absolute W for Activision. But with Activision, there is actually a sort of ongoing problem. This was actually a problem beginning about 9 months ago in January when there was a return to work mandate that was issued out. Now, I remember hearing about this. If I remember correctly, it I think was like the entirety of Activision. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe it was just certain branches. But regardless, yeah, a lot of workers got this return to work notice. Yeah, I mean, at that point it had been about, 4 years since the start of COVID. Things with that have really been simmering down. And so I guess it was issued out that there was this return to work, return to office mandate. Yeah, I guess I really shouldn't call it a return to work mandate because, see, the thing is, the workers themselves had been working this entire time, or at least the majority of them. They had been just working from home, especially these quality assurance workers. Quality assurance, especially in video game development, I believe is very much a job that can be worked on remotely. To my understanding, it's a lot of like pre-release stuff and post-release stuff as well, kind of like debugging, buffing out the kinks, so to speak. So there was definitely some disagreement over the return to office mandate since, hey, they had been working this entire time. And I'm sure they were kind of getting used to being able to work from home. It's a lot more convenient. And as some have pointed out, this even enabled certain workers with certain disabilities to be able to stay at home and work. Now, at the time, this was labeled as possibly a sort of soft layoff by Activision or by Microsoft, really depending on which of the two companies actually issued this mandate. But yeah, basically this could have been a sort of strategy by them to, not have to lay off some staff if they actually did want to lay off some staff. This way you're going to force people to be put in a position where they just want to resign, and then, hey, you don't have to pay them any kind of severance, anything like that. Now, I don't know exactly what has happened between then and now, but now with Activision's biggest game series, of course, Call of Duty, yeah, with Black Ops 6 being released last Friday, quality assurance workers in a specific branch of Activision in Eden Prairie, Minnesota, actually took time on this day to basically protest this return to office mandate. So it definitely is showing that there is still very much a big disagreement, it would seem, between Activision's staff and their management, or again, Microsoft's management. Again, I don't really know which one is responsible there. Now, I do want to point out a lot of people have incorrectly reported this as a strike. It doesn't actually seem that this was a strike. This was more of like a demonstration. A strike would mean the workers are just refusing to work. It doesn't look like that is the case. They just were doing this demonstration on Friday, the day that Call of Duty was released. I think they chose, well, specifically that day, because of course Black Ops 6 was going to be in the news, so they just kind of wanted to take that opportunity to show that there is still very much this huge disagreement and a big issue still ongoing with Activision employees and their management. Now, obviously, I don't work at Activision. I'm not a worker or a part of the management, so, I can't definitively say which side is right or wrong here. I mean, I'm just looking at this from, from an outside perspective. Hey, maybe Activision does have certain numbers that would suggest that coming back to the office, is actually a good thing. Maybe there are things that, yeah, we just don't know about this situation, but I don't know, to me, while there are a lot of jobs that I think could very much benefit being at the actual work location, like I said, quality assurance for game development just doesn't seem like something that would really require you to be in person. Very interesting, though, that there is still this very big issue, it would seem, with workers. They feel that especially disabled workers are being discriminated against at Activision with this policy, and according to Activision, they have kind of responded to this protest. They reached out to Eurogamer and basically said that, yeah, this is still an ongoing thing, and we're still working with specific employees who, have certain accommodations, but they said that overall, coming back to the office is just a sort of adjustment. One final thought, though, I did see a Twitter account say something about how, like I had said, hey, this was not a strike, this was just a protest, but that, hey, if this ever was a strike, you would definitely know. Yeah, and I mean, that was kind of just something that I was thinking, is this big issue, is it going to eventually eventually lead to some sort of strike. This demonstration was supported, by the way, by the Communications Workers of America. This is a huge labor union in America. They represent a bunch of sectors of the media. I think they are the biggest media union. So it would be interesting to see if things get really bad, tensions get high, and a strike eventually happens. I hope that doesn't happen. I don't want that to affect any future Call of Duties, any future games that would come out, but it could happen. You never know. We'll just have to wait and see. Time will tell. For right now, this was just a single demonstration, but it does illustrate some very apparent dissatisfaction with Activision employees.